started. Let's go.
Hello and welcome into the Farmers Union pregame show. As always, I'm Kenota Coby Brault alongside Tauros, taking 1-0 lead in the best of 5 Central Division finals after a 5-2 win last night.
What a game it was, Ken. A very intense game. We anticipated that with these two heated rivals, but it was John Emmons that opened up the scoring in the first period. About 4 minutes left in the first. Off a sweet feed from Weston Knox, Zwiecki gets the secondary assist there. Tommy Cronin tied it up about 7 minutes into the second period, but there was a quick response from the Tauros, as is often the case all season long, on a goal by John Small that Bismarck head coach Lane Sedeby, let's just say he was not very pleased with the decision to call that a good goal. Potential goalie interference, but the refs deemed it a good goal. And, you know, we're looking at the replays. I think it was a good goal, truthfully. But 4 minutes later, Jack O'Hannison beats the buzzer off the face-off play. It was 4-on-3, one of only 2 power play chances that the Tauros generated all night.
Coby Volk clued us in during the intermission that was a broken play, actually, and O'Hanny just found himself wide open on the left side.
And that, you know, the thing with the Tauros, they've been running face-off plays all year. The first goal of the year, if you think back to the showcase, was off a face-off play. It's something that teams kind of account for, and so even broken plays end up looking like they meant to do that. Julian Beaumont cut it to 1 with 7 minutes left in the third period, but it was John Small again playing the hero. You can't say enough about John Small and also Brady James. We talked about it in yesterday's pregame show about how important it would be to make the big saves, and Brady James made plenty of big saves last night, stopping 24 out of 26 shots. Jack O'Hannison gets the empty netter to make it 5-2, and the Tauros are 2 wins away from Blaine, Minnesota, with another expected rocking crowd tonight here at the Pepsi Rink, looking to take a 2-0 stranglehold on this series.
Yeah, echoes from last round as well, right? With game 1 with Spencer and Kettinen having 2 goals each. Last night, Small and O'Hannison with 2 goals each. You really start to feel like this team is just on a mission.
Yeah, and I've been talking about it all playoffs, the depth. The depth is the key. It doesn't have to be the top line guys. It can come from anywhere. And, you know, that Austin series, it was Zwiecki, Spencer, and Kettinen doing a bulk of the scoring. And last night, Small and O'Hannison both get off to a great start. So can't say enough about that game. It was a rocking crowd. And like we said, should be rocking in here again tonight.
Let's take a look at the overall Robertson Cup playoff bracket updated after last night's games. A couple of 2 seeds score some upsets.
Yeah, Maine gets it done in Maryland, 2-0. A back-and-forth game that Maine kind of had control of the whole way. Shreveport, after having some bus troubles on the way to Lone Star, able to bounce back and get a 3-2 win, scored late in that game to take the 1-0 lead. And both those teams stealing home ice, which is going to be pivotal in that best of 5. Anchorage and Wisconsin, that was a very good game. Anchorage was out in front for most of it, but Wisconsin made it interesting, ended up being 3-2. So Anchorage and here in Minot, the only 2 1 seeds to get it done. Otherwise, Shreveport and Maine now have the home ice advantage in the East and the South. So going to be really interesting to see. I mean, like we were saying yesterday, all 4 of these series are absolute dogfights. All 4 I could realistically see going 5 games. And, I mean, that's really all you want in the North American Hockey League is the 1s and 2s battling it out to go to Blaine and potentially going all 5 games.
Yeah, and from a Tauros perspective, right, last night's win was a good first step, but really Bismarck comes in tonight and gets a win. It erases that, and we head to Bismarck for a couple next weekend with Bismarck essentially stealing home ice advantage. So really important for the Tauros to take the 2-0 lead tonight.
Yep, and as much as last night felt great, like we said, great crowd, great energy, 5-2 win, everything going right for the Tauros. Like you said, Bismarck comes in and gets it done tonight, and all of a sudden home ice belongs to them. So a quick reset, that's the beauty of the playoffs. That's the beauty of playing on the Friday, Saturday is, you know, you got to have that goldfish mentality. Just focus on what's right in front of you. Go get that 2-0 lead tonight, and I think that's the plan.
Let's take a look at the Noodles numbers again. These are from the regular season head-to-head between these two teams. Tauros won 7 of the meetings overall. Tauros had more goals per game, 3.3 to 3.0. more shots per game, again, more success on the power play. Both teams had a power play goal last night, and the Bobcats took more penalty minutes, even though the Tauros had fewer power play opportunities.
Yeah, and that is worth noting. Fewer power play opportunities for the Tauros on the season series, as well as last night. Just 1 for 2, able to cash in on that 4-on-3, as we mentioned earlier. But Bismarck going 1 for 5, so that's something that, kind of hinting at. We'll get to that a little bit more in a bit here, but definitely something that the Tauros are going to want to clean up tonight, and kind of a reflection of the whole season series.
That'll bring us to our Minotauros Booster Club players to watch. I'll kick this off. I'm going with Coby Volk. 18 goals in the regular season, none in the playoffs so far. He's turned into an assist guy here in the postseason instead, but I think wouldn't be shocked to see Woogie pop off here.
Yeah, and he's had some good looks, and like you said, an assist guy. That all starts with his absolute dynamite one-timer from the top, and a lot of tip-ins in that Austin series. But yeah, I'd look for Woogie to pop one, if not tonight, at some point in this series. My guy I'm looking at tonight, Nick Zwiecki. He stayed hot with 2 assists last night, and like I mentioned earlier, was scoring goals in the last round, but he's just been consistently making plays, which you love to see that out of a veteran guy. You love to see that out of a guy that wasn't necessarily a point producer per se during the season, but stepping up when it matters the most, and just calling back on that depth. And so 2 assists last night. I look for him to keep going off as he has all playoffs.
That'll bring us to our home key group keys to the game. First one, you've talked about it a lot so far on the Farmers Union pregame show. The home crowd really need to get the fans going. It was a good crowd last night. I think there was a little bit of uneasiness early in the game, but by the end of that one, Tauros fans were rocking as always.
Uneasiness, to say the least. You could cut the tension with the knife at puck drop. It was John Emmons that kind of got him going, and then back and forth, Bismarck tying it up. It's just such an intensity in this rivalry, and it's just a 2-hour trip down to Bizzo, so that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the crowd was awesome last night, and the second key being discipline. There were 5 trips to the box for the Tauros last night compared to just 2 for Bismarck. The Papa John's PK has been strong all year, but you don't want to have to lean on that. It is a disadvantage for a reason, and that's something that the Tauros are going to look to clean up tonight and hopefully even out those numbers a little bit.
And then the third key to the game for me is blocked shots, right? The Tauros blocked a ton of shots last night. I think of one where it looked like the whole goal was wide open. Brady James had already made a first save and was on his stomach at the side of the net, and Adam Mahler got in the way of a puck that was ticketed for the back of the cage. So continuing to get in shot lanes, block shots, and really make goaltenders' life a little bit easier.
And we talk about the offensive production of the D-men all season long, looking at Coby Volk, Weston Knox, an offensive defenseman. But, I mean, these guys are so good at leaning on teams. They're so good at consistently blocking shots. And like you said, without those blocks last night, a much different game. And so definitely something that they're going to have to continue to do if they want to keep winning games and advance to Blaine.
That'll bring us to our Forebears Casino and Lodge over-unders. Fans, you can play these in the Tauros Hockey mobile app. A chance to win a $250 stay-and-play package from our friends at Forebears Casino. Coby, you can play along. You just can't win. Tauros defenseman goals. We've talked about it a lot. A lot of goals from the back end for this team. Didn't have any yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over there. I think it's just statistically due. And so I'm going over. Look for Coby Volk, Knox, even Mahler, Jockums, even the unexpected guys like Gibbs, just putting pucks on net and good things happen. I'd anticipate a D-man goal, and I'm going over.
Tauros special teams goals had total special teams goals. So this is for either team. Each team had a power play goal last night. Will we see another special team marker this evening?
Yeah, last night, and we had talked about it going in, were the refs going to let them play? Was it going to be called tight? It was kind of both, truthfully. So I'm going to go with the over there. 2 last night. I think 1 tonight and hopefully 1 for the Tauros. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the over. Even being more disciplined, there's still going to be a few opportunities, and so you hope that they can get another one just like they did last night.
And then the last one, total empty netters. Again, this is for either team.
I'm going to go over there, too. All 3 overs, and I'm not typically an over guy, but I do think that it'll be close enough that a goalie will get pulled one way or the other, so I'm taking the over on the empty netters. So that's 3 overs, over D-man goals, over special team goals, and over empty netters. Not
typically an over guy. We're going to have to check the tape from previous Farmers Union pregame show, see if that's true. But it'll bring us to our next game, the Tauros McDonald's Trivia. Who scored the game winner in Game 2 of the Tauros 2015 sweep of the Bismarck Bobcats? You've got a couple NHLers on the list, John Lizotte, Blake Lizotte, a couple of role players who went on to play D1 college, Colton Kramer and John Snodgrass.
This is an excellent question, Ken. You have completely stumped me. My Tauros 2014-15 season history is not what it needs to be, so I'm just going to take a wild guess here. I'm going John Lazat. You typically pick the guy that's in the NHL, Blake Lazat, but I'm going John Lazat. Give me A.
All right. Well, you can get your guess in, fans, a chance to win a free lunch from our friends at Dakota Drive McDonald's. Coby, before we get out of here and turn it over to Josh, potentially the last home game of the regular season, what are you looking for from the fans?
I mean, it's been an incredible season. Best fans in the league by a mile. I know a lot of teams post that throughout the NHL, especially teams at the end of their season, best fans in the league. This is truly the best place for junior hockey, not only in the NHL, but maybe in the entire country, if we're being completely honest. So I expect a rocking crowd just like last night. I think it's going to be loud, definitely loud in here. And, last night I'm directing the game, so I have noise-canceling headphones on, and I still could barely hear myself think with how loud it was in here. And so, got to give it to the fans. Without them, none of this is possible. And so expecting them to be really, really loud and bring the energy hopefully one last night. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, 25 sellouts this season. Hopefully another one tonight. Let's see if we can get it done. That'll do it for the Farmers Union pregame show. For Coby Brault, I'm Ken Oda. We're going to turn you over to Josh Karloff for tonight's introductions.